Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spill the Tea Radio, where we interview awesome singer-songwriters and those who influence their lives. Spill the Tea Radio explores the journey, creativity, and inspiration behind the songs. My next guest is an award-winning multi-instrumentalist performer based in Mississauga, Ontario. He has been performing live music for a decade with many successful artists such as Jammer's Waffle House, Wilson and the Cast Aways, and Scratchnasty. This includes opening for City in Color, illscarlett, performances on Rogers Hometown Hockey, and many more. With a wide-spanning repertoire of familiar favorites and original compositions, he engages an audience and always leaves them wanting one more song. So, let's spill the tea with Matt Hinojosa. Welcome, Matt.
Hello, how's it going?
One of the things that stood out for me is the name of the band that you're playing with at the moment, Jammer's Waffle House. I had all kinds of things conjured up in my mind what Jammer's Waffle House could possibly have come from.
All
And
right.
so now I'd like you to tell the story so I can figure out how close I was or how far off base.
Oh man, that's a great question. So I started Jammer's Waffle House all the way back in high school with a couple of my friends. The name comes from we originally were trying out for a battle of the bands, and we just kind of wanted to record something before we came up with a group name. So we had a song about breakfast that went. We just kind of posted it on YouTube to see what the feelers would be like, and it went very well. So we were like, okay, well, we gotta incorporate breakfast into our band name in some way. So we started throwing stuff at the wall, but what we ended up settling on was Jammers is the first initials of everybody who was in the group at the time. And then Waffle House came from the breakfast angle. And so, yeah, it's just a nice little memory of kind of where we all started. And, an important reminder to have a balanced breakfast to consume any music, really.
When we chatted before, I asked you if you had done any busking.
Oh, yeah.
And busking is such an interesting way for artists to get their music out, make a living, make a few bucks. But I don't know that we've ever had the entire experience explained to us. So I know that you did some busking down in Port Credit. For those people listening that are not familiar with Port Credit is it's a small place in the south of the city of Mississauga. It's right on Lake Ontario, where the Credit River dumps out into or flows. Dumps out is not a good term.
I think they should add that to their little bio about the place.
I apologize to Mississaugans for that. It's where the Port Credit spills into Lake Ontario, and it's a great little spot. Huge music area. They host a music festival there every year in the park right along the Credit River. So a great spot for music. So tell us about where were you set up in Port Credit, and how long did you do it for? What were your experiences? Give us the whole story.
Yeah, so I actually was very lucky to be asked to be a part of the busking Saga Busks pilot project. So they tried out a bunch of locations, and as soon as I saw Port Credit on the list, I was like, I got to get down there. There's so much great music, and just people are always so receptive to just hearing something that they weren't expecting, especially just walking by on the street. So I was usually set up down by where the lighthouse is, just across from the Marina Bridge.
Right.
And yeah, there's this little corner right before you go out to the pier that was mine for so many years. It's a great spot. I've gotten to meet a lot of good friends that way. Just kind of people stop and just strike up a conversation. And yeah, it's a really fun experience because you're just kind of throwing anything to the wind with music wise. You're just trying to see what maybe people are interested in. But at the same time, it's like several hours. So you just start to play anything that you can kind of come to your mind. And some of my favorite experiences have been busking. I got asked to do a wedding once, playing. A couple stopped by. They stayed for like 20 minutes, and then they're like, "Can you play our first dance?" And I was, wow, okay. Oh, I guess so. So yeah, it's like great spot, great experience, and yeah, Port Credit's an absolutely lovely spot for music.
Now there's a coffee house that's right on the corner there of Lakeshore, and that that space, that place that you're talking about, where the lighthouse is. So
Hmm.
we know the people that are stopping in there, they got a little bit extra coin in their pocket, and a few minutes to listen to your music. Uh, so what's the money like when you're busking? Like
It goes.
how do you know what's a successful day?
I've had some pretty good days. Like I said, if you don't want to have coins, I'm a great place to put it if you don't want to have it in your pocket. Yeah, I mean it goes from anywhere from like a couple $100 to slow days, a little less than that, but just people like really don't like change. So I'm a huge
Mhm.
fan of rolled coins at this point in my career.
See, if I were there and promoting, I would tell people, listen, we don't want to hear the sound of coins going in here. We want to hear the sound of crisp $5 bills. That's what we want to hear. I don't want to hear anything banging during the song. I want to hear floating into the guitar case.
Floating and folding, yes.
How long would you play a typical busking set? What would it run for?
Yeah, about 2 hours. The initial ones. Some of them would be a bit longer when they were testing out the pilot, so that'd be like three, which would be a bit crazy.
Mhm.
But two's good. That's about as much as my skin can take in the sun as well.
Now, you also did some busking at the bus station.
Oh,
So I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out, okay, there's a lot of bus station loops in Mississauga, or maybe it was somewhere else. Tell us
mhm.
about that experience.
Yeah. So, like I said, they were testing out a bunch of locations, and so just at the corner of Dundas and here, Ontario, there's the big Cooksville sign. Not there now, but so they were trying to figure out what to do with the space, and there's a lot of folks that come through that way
Mhm.
for just general travel and commuting. So it was fun. A lot of confused people getting off the bus, I guess, the first time I did it, because you've been coming to this bus stop for years, and now there's just this man playing bare naked ladies as you get off the bus. And Yeah, so there's some interesting characters that would just kind of stand next to you and dance along. They're just trying to get in on the experience. And then there was a couple of gentlemen that had a disagreement in front of me that didn't go so well for one of them.
And the music didn't soothe their
I
souls.
I hope I didn't add to it. That's all my. I hope he wasn't too inspired by that. But yeah, it's just wish there's all kinds of things you can see when you're busking. It's just a really interesting people watching exercise sometimes.
So can we safely say that Port Credit along the pier going out to the lighthouse was the favorable spot for you to busk?
I would say so. I didn't dislike the bus terminal, just a little more interesting, I guess I would say.
Do you have a favorite song that you like to perform? Maybe it's not one of your own. Maybe it's a cover that you do. Do you have one that really resonates with you?
Yeah, when I do kind of the solo acoustic kind of stuff, I love to play the song Blackbird. It always
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
reminds me of my mom. And it's just a fun one to play, but it also just kind of like brings the audience in a little bit closer because they're just kind of trying to figure out what you're doing because there's a lot of chords in that song.
Some people have said, Blackbird it's a standard for anybody who plays acoustic guitar. You have to have Blackbird in there.
Yeah, it comes
It's
with the
all
guitar.
it comes with the guitar, almost like well, Hotel California if you're going to play a lead on an electric guitar or even
Yeah,
on an acoustic as
12
well.
string. Yeah.
How difficult is Blackbird to learn? Now it's in fairness to somebody that might be trying to learn it, you have a lot of experience behind it. You have professional training. You went to school for music, but how long did it take you to learn how to play that proficiently?
Probably a couple of years. Just kind of like I went to Walter's Music at Square One time ago, and I bought these two Beatles books. It was like A to I and then J to Y. And Blackbird was like the first one that I went to, and it just had all like the chord shapes, and I was like, this is crazy. I gotta, pour myself into this. So yeah, I like just kind of spending several hours just kind of trying to figure out how the one hand works, and then at the same time trying to figure out how you pick the song. So lots of moving pieces. I would say it's a pretty, uh, you know, difficult one if you're just starting out. You kind of have to work up to it. You probably got to do Want to Hold Your Hand first, and then
A few like that. Now I was going to say, when you have the chords
Mhm.
is one thing, but to pick it properly, do
and
you
to sing
just
it.
improvise your own picking style?
Oh, so I was like I am a huge Beatles nerd, so I would watch
Okay.
like videos of Paul McCartney playing it, and he plays it a bit weirder than I guess the way that it sounds because he uses his like a fingernail against the strings as opposed to like a full like finger pick.
Well, plus
Uh,
he plays backwards.
he does, yeah, he
He's
does.
he's actually a great guitar player to learn from because you can see the shapes at the same spot. Anyways, you were saying.
Yeah, no, yeah, he just yeah, the finger picking is a bit difficult, but you know, once you get it's like I really can't explain it other than it's like when you get it, it makes perfect sense and you can watch a million people, you know, try to explain it to you, but you really just kind of have to get in there and put your fingers against the strings.
Let's get into one of the songs that Matt wrote. This song was released in 2023. It was recorded at Banquet Sound Studios in Toronto with arrangement and performances by Jammer's Waffle House. Let's take a listen to singer-songwriter Matt Hinojosa and his song, Shame.
Worst report I've ever read.
Thanks.
You suck at your job.
I spent 3 weeks working on this thing for you.
Wow. Really? Because it reads like you spent 3 minutes on it.
I spent an insane amount of time. I stayed late. I was working my ass off to be here. I don't really know what else you want from me. I put everything I have into this.
Be better at your job.
I've got nothing that I want to say to you anymore. As far as I'm concerned, you were a dream in my head. You
That was Shame by Matt Hinojosa. Matt, what's first of all, what's the song about? It's got a really interesting video. So for people that are listening to this on the radio, I encourage you to go to spillthetearadio.com and look at the current shows and see the video. So what's the song about, and then what inspired you to write it?
The song is about, I guess, the changeover that I was going through with the previous lineup of Jammers Waffle House. I kind of was looking at the way that the pandemic had kind of changed a lot of the plans that we had, and just kind of like, it was a shame that things kind of shook out the way that they did, and I just wanted to write something that would kind of just express those feelings, just not really wanting to put too fine a point on it. It was just like an experience of just like, I've had some time to think about this, and I just kind of want to put it to bed, and so it came in the form of this song.
I don't want to give away the video, but you tie a person up in the video. We won't name the person. Did that represent anybody in particular?
Well, I'll give some huge thanks to my good friend Zach Marsh. He's the drummer of Scratchnasty, who cameoed as our as Mr. Marsh the boss in the video. I think we were just trying to make something that would be kind of a little out there, a little silly, and we were just kind of brainstorming some ideas. And I was like, I'd be really funny if we just kind of like, had this be the breaking point of this worker's career, and have Shame be the soundtrack.
Well, it's a great song, and it is a humorous video. So check it out. Check out Shame by Matt Hinojosa, and check out Jammers Waffle House as well. Well, how do people find out more about you, Matt? What's the website? What's the socials, streaming? How can they find out more about you, your gigs, concerts, and your music?
Yeah, so just search us up, jammerswafflehouse.com. It's got links to all of our things, social media, Jammers Waffle House, Instagram, Facebook. We've Jammers Waffle House on Spotify. We've got a couple of new tunes coming out there, so be sure to stay tuned to there. Our website's got all of our upcoming gigs, including our big one on Canada Day outside the Living Arts Center in Mississauga. So we're very excited to be a part of that. And everything you could possibly want to know about us, jammerswafflehouse.com.
We have been in conversation with Matt Hinojosa. Matt, thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much.